Hi, we have come a long way in a society and reached sophistication. Yet, every day we face some challenges called social pressure. And today's topic is social pressure, what it is, and why do we even engage in such things. So, you are aware that social pressure is very predominant nowadays. So, what is your take on it?
Actually, social pressure has always been a part of our life, primarily because we live in a society. And when we have a society, it's made up of various individuals who collectively have desires which become a uniform desire of them. So that is more of a society, desire of the society. So when the desire of the society gets accentuated, we can call it a social pressure. Why? Because it is contrasted with personal desire. So at any given time, a person, when he has to choose between what he likes to do versus what he has to do for others, and when what he has to do for others becomes dominant, the stress begins, and that's where we feel the pressure is a inevitable aspect. But of course, when we engage in something we like, we are not likely to feel the pressure because we can go on doing it. But this fact of we end up doing things again and again for the sake of others' desires becomes very exhausting.
So the two things play here, like I need to do this or I want to do this.
That's a very basic difference. Your personal desire of what you want to do and what you need and have to do, primarily to fit in. So fitting in society becomes the major reason.
Okay, but when did this social pressure emerge into society? Like in what context?
It emerged from the time human beings took shape in their present state of mind. And the desire which I feel governs all humanity is appreciation, particularly appreciation of the self. And when this appreciation of the self takes a dominant role in one's life, where you want to feel appreciated by others, in this case society, you begin to realize that the only way you can do it is by being in a certain way, doing certain things and possessing certain things, which automatically becomes objective. Everything outside of you determines your worth. Automatically you enter the realm of materialism. So materialism is a state of mind where you evaluate your worth primarily based on everything on the outside. And that is only for the sake of others to see and appreciate you. This is completely contrasted by your personal desire, where you do things for the sake of doing that which is only known to you, which is of great value. And you will notice that when there is something which is immense value to you, you will not want to exhibit it to others, which again, when you look at materialistic aspect, you will notice that many things that you do or you possess, which you want to show to others in order to get appreciation, are not necessarily valuable to you. Their value is totally related to how much value it gives you. Whereby when you have a genuine relationship or you have something which is of personal interest to you, you keep on relishing the enjoyment and your value, and you will never share it with others, you see.
Okay.
So that's what the greatest secrets of the world are in the domain of that personal desire. When something means intrinsically to you, they never show it to others.
So, interesting. But we've seen what this social pressure is, and maybe the materialism kind of ignites it. But once we understand this, then how do we kind of get a solution out of this?
See, the solution lies primarily based on your reflective mind, because as I said earlier, when you are engaging in getting appreciation for yourself, you are unable to distinguish that there are things in this world that you do for the sake of doing because it's giving you personal happiness, and the things that you're doing because others are watching and giving you that appreciation, so you feel happy. And this, not knowing this distinction, makes you a confused person. And then you go on doing things because the majority around you is society. So then they set the diktats of what you need to do in order to get appreciated and fit in. So reflective mind allows you to see this distinction, which means you begin to understand the nature of the problem. You're equipped to offload the unnecessary desires of others expected from you versus the desires that you have of yourself. This automatically brings you in the domain of wisdom, because you are now wise, you are a better decision maker, you can balance it, because there is no way you can neglect societal desires. This balancing through wisdom can also come when you have a clear sense of purpose. You begin to know who you are, what you're good at, what is it that you want for yourself. This sense of purpose ultimately leads you to happiness, which is very lasting. Contrary to when you are engaging in materialistic pursuits, you could get any object or thing which is valued by others, but it's a matter of time where someone else will have better than you, or they will perform better than you, so that all the effort seems frustrating, and that cycle going on and on builds enormous amount of pressure. And this primarily begins because you are confused about that. You don't know, and you're just getting wrapped into this whole game. Engaging. So reflective mind is the beginning of the solution.
I like this reflective mind. I mean, I kind of feel one could do a guided one, but could you give an example of how to reflect, like decode that reflective, what you're talking about, with an example?
Reflection primarily means, in philosophical terms, going over what you know in your life. So that means you know the things that matter to you. You begin to see that you want to feel appreciated. That is part of your desire. So now you're reflecting because you're trying to attempt to understand what is the nature of desire, this appreciation. So when you come upon this idea, you're able to see, okay, now I want to feel appreciated. One is by others, one is by myself. So in a practical situation, when you're making a decision, any kind of social pressure, suppose travel. Now there has been so many articles where the travel is on increase, particularly international travel in India. So which means it makes you wonder why so many people are engaging in the trend. I mean, I have come across people who even borrow just in order to have that travel as a stamp on their passport. And this, what is it that they are doing? They're primarily doing this because everyone is doing it. They want to somehow fit in. They're thinking that is their personal desire. It could be, but I'm saying there could be a situation where you desire maybe travel to Europe, and you just want to go to a particular city just to feel the air, the ambience, walk around in park, read a book, have a coffee. But you will notice a lot of people who are engaging in the social pressure will never do that. They will be interested in crossing the masses, the selfies, their Instagram and Facebook, the social media will be filled with their exhibition of where all they have been, and establishing that the tenure of the travel is so many countries, so many locales. So there is so much of stress. If you notice, the whole travel is like a regiment, and that is so different. So a person who is more reflective will be able to see this difference. Primarily, a person who's gone over this will realize, do I have the feasibility for this travel? Now, even if I personally desire this travel, do I want to just travel for the sake of others to show others, or do I also want to engage in activity which is going to bring me joy and happiness, which no one needs to know. No one will know that you've had a cup of coffee in a cafe or you've walked in a park. To facilitate that personal joy along with the social desire, you will plan. And this planning has a lot to do with your financial setting, the way you...
The other immediate family gets involved in the pressure.
There's so many subtle factors which get involved, which ultimately play a role in the decision making. So a person who's reflective will have the empty amount of space in their mind to go over everything, prioritize in the way they should, and take a decision. So they can always time a travel next year or the next year, or to a particular locale where they have the feasibility of not worrying too much to maximize the amount they are spending, but also enjoy it for the sake of fulfilling their own personal desire.
So the reflective helps you conserve your energy, your resources, because if you're going to succumb to the pressure and do that, if it's a travel, and you don't get that appreciation you're looking for, then the entire thing is wasted.
Absolutely. So, I mean, today you are floating the social media, and next week another person who will do even better. So all the amount of effort and money that you put in will seem like a waste.
So if you same thing you've done for yourself, then you are still happy even if you don't get appreciated.
In fact, I feel the return on personal and the desire of other, personal desire and desires of the world is where when you come back, the memories that you have of yourself is your constant, eternal source of joy. Whereas the memories which you can display on a social media will very soon lose their value. So it's to know this fact, I think is itself very relieving.
Very interesting. But we also have something called social bullying which happens with your family, with your colleagues or your friends. So how can one encounter such bullies?
Bully, whether it's social or any other, has only one objective. A bully wants to feed off your confidence because they lack it. That's the whole idea. Otherwise, there is too much energy for a person to use to go to someone else and engage and either try to bother them or try to put them down. The whole idea is only because you don't have enough of it yourself. So whether it's a school, college or an adult life, whether it's professional or social bullying, the whole idea is somewhere the person is not feeling confident about themselves. They are not feeling validated enough by themselves, so they are trying to spot the soft target. Suppose if they see in you that you don't have that amount of confidence in yourself, you are like a wannabe, you are trying too hard to fit in, then you become a soft target for them. Then they can come around you, try to exhibit the achievements that they have done, primarily because those achievements may not be much value in their other societies, but for you it will be of value. So they can put you down instead of elevating them to feel superior. There's a big difference here. So they put you down because you're confused. They feed off of your confidence, try to see if you can be in awe of them and feel very good and strong about themselves. And that's how most people do. Now, the only way you can tackle that is confidence, which you get through a reflective mind. Because when you're very reflective, when you are knowing who you are and why you think the way you think, why you desire the things that you do, you somewhere find a space of yourself in the world, especially in the social world. So you know if you're not up to something big, or you're not doing something, or you're not achieving something, and if you've worked out why and you are comfortable with that answer, your confidence emerges. So when a person who's wanting your confidence comes around and senses this, will most likely avoid you because they will end up feeling smaller than you. Your confidence will make them feel very small. However, there are some people who will still come around to challenge you. At that point, if your confidence stands on very genuine ground, you will automatically know how to defend it, because your confidence is also an amount of your self-worth which you want to protect. You will find a way to tackle them. So confidence is the key here.
Interesting. I hope you enjoy this conversation. So reflective can give you your way to your ultimate happiness. Thank you.
Thank you.